Hello everyone. I decided to do a Kipper Grand Tableau. I'm not using Ciro Marchetti's deck because there's too much of a glare coming off of the cards because of the gloss finish. And I have to have overhead lights on because it's a dark day in Oregon. It's gonna rain. So anyway, I'm using the Card Geeks Kipper, and I think you're going to like it just as fine. I'll talk you through it. Each one of the houses represent one of the cards, but we'll get an overlay of which cards and which houses will get some double meanings, and or two meanings with one spot. Double the information, not double the meanings. And my question going into the cards is what's going to happen from November 6th, starting the count of all the votes, and January 20th, 2025, and all the way to like midnight, right? How's it going to go? What will we experience? Will there be delays? Will we get to see Kamala put her hand on the Bible and swear herself in, take the oath to the Constitution of the United States of America? Or will we be waiting? How's it going to go? Will there be delays? And if I don't get a really clear answer this way, then another day next week, I'll do a Grand Tableau with the Lennies, with the Lenneman. But there is something that I need to change up, and that is that the man will be Trump and the woman will be Kamala, rather than, the main man and his main squeeze kind of thing. No, I'm not going to do it that way. It's the only way I think that I can get this clear. Okay. Here we go. November 6th, 2024 through January 20th, midnight. Not the day of, but the midnight after. Let's just take it to January 20th. I'm sorry, 21st, 2025, midnight that day. That'll get us through that 12-hour period, right? I think the ceremony starts at noon on the 20th, which is Martin Luther King Day this next year. How significant, my goodness. I don't really believe in coinky dinks. I think that would be divine order. Right there. Okay. Okay. If you're short of time, here's the answer. Donald John Trump gets sad, sad news. Ooh, Kamala Harris gets good news. Yes, love and joy do matter most. People, we are hardwired as human beings into our spirits, and our spirits, no matter how much soul shrouding of darkness we have, we are hardwired for love and joy. Okay, the bond, the marriage of the United States is protected and strong there. Also, the marriage between Kamala and her husband, plus also, you know what this could be, actually? This could be Tim Walz. To me, he would be the good gent. Okay. Convene meetings. Okay, let's just lay out the cards. But I don't want you to get overwhelmed with just looking at the images. I want you to listen to what I have to say when I use the chopstick and point to certain places, because I know that, you lay all these images out, and we are all, as humans, we are truly, guided by symbols and all of that. So if anybody comments that this is too confusing or too much information, what you will be doing in essence is telling me, this is interesting, you'll be telling me that you weren't listening to me and you were just looking at the cards. And so I would say, go back and listen and follow where I'm pointing. Okay? Now, whoa. Oh my goodness. Here's Kamala, here's Trump. Gloomy thoughts is our card for, oh my goodness, this is our card for helpless and hopeless and ignorant and depressed. And here she is, ready to work. Ready to work. Long way. Okay, that's interesting to have these here. Let me just. We may have some Supreme Court action, and we may be waiting. I think, but let's look at the process. Okay, I don't like this over here. So there's so much here. Like I said, sadness, rut-row, disappointment. This is like the Five of Cups in the tarot. Self-pity. He might even be feeling really down and not, physically well, of course. This is a confrontation. This is a crisis. This is where we need to let go. This is a very, very, very painful perception. That's what Trump will be going through. Now, where's the main man card? Just like I said, it's right here in the house of gloomy thoughts. So this is Trump, like I was saying before, helpless, insecure, pessimistic, but he also has no concentration, no clarity coming through, depressed, discouraged, right? So now we need to look for, where is the gloomy thoughts card? Well, it's right here. And this is, I think this relates to us feeling helpless, but it is in the house of good outcome. So this tells me that we have to be patient, okay? We just have to be patient. We have to hang in there. It will all work out in the end, but for now, it's, we're feeling pessimistic as to the outcome. Okay, because of all the shenanigans that Trump and his cronies they already have planned, right? So, and then this is interesting to have this sad news. This is a sad news card, but in the sad news house, we have, and we know that because this is in Trump's house, right? This is Trump with the sad news, and the sad news right here, this house causes him to go, oh crap, I'm going to prison, right? That's what he's thinking. That's where he's headed. And also restrictions of all different types. Secrets will be coming out. The prison imprisonment card is, it's our card for secrets. It's our card for your own self-made prison that you can't get out of. And you have to go through that karmic path because you're the one that created it. Yeah. I don't have anything else to say there. Okay, now let's focus on Kamala. She, in her and the house that represents her, she has the card of a good outcome. This is success. This is love. This is loyalty. This is people making decisions coming from the heart. This is her love and joy being returned to her because that's what she's put out there. This card is also the end of problems, the end of sorrows, and most of all, major success. Now, I just need to find, so in the, I did already, yeah, in the good outcome house, this is where we have that place of feeling helpless and depressed, and we're having to wait. She is too. That's not easy for her. This won't be easy for her. But she's going to know that she did the best she could. And I think there's an overwhelming popular vote but the Electoral College will probably be giving us some trouble, or just, some states refusing to certify, some states, governors refusing to certify, states electors giving us trouble. But I'll look further with these other cards to look at that. Yeah. Now, let's go to Kamala's card, and like I said, she's here. She's in the house of work. It doesn't get any more simple than that. She's this is her life's work. This is what she was born to do. This is all of her effort and her due diligence and her just constantly, that busyness and that hard work. And just like, Tim Wall said, like, we'll sleep when we're dead. He has a super hard work ethic as well. So yeah, this is the house of lots of physical activity. Okay, so let's look for the worky card. Worky work. I know you're here. Here it is. Ooh, it's in the house of sorrow. But it's right next to Trump, right? Because you always read the cards in the vicinity. So, sorry, dude. The number 32 card it's the worst. It's absolutely the worst. It's the card for, it's like the Nine of Swords, but it just doesn't go away. It's like probably more like the Nine of Swords are reversed in some cases. This is his own self-destruction. This house is his own self-destruction, or the house of sorrow. And so he doesn't, all the work that he's done to get to try and get back in, is not, that's not happening. But the other thing this is telling me is that because the sorrow card and the sorrow house is the house of violence, he is working, and he has been working, I believe, in the background with the Proud Boys and any other. He would not care if everything got burnt down just for him. And Steve Bannon's newly out of prison, so there's that. He may go back in by December, though. Well, I don't know about that. There's a new trial on him starting up. But anyway, I don't want to get distracted there. So here's Trump being sad about his past, and he's not going to be able to work in the White House. And then look at this, you guys. Look at the cards at night to prison. This card, and okay, I have to tell you this right off. All of the cards at the top are weighing down on both of them, right? And they neither one of them, like once all the votes are cast, they don't really have any control. This could also be our Joe Biden card up here. He has immunity now. He has presidential immunity for official acts, so keep that in mind. But anyway, prison is hanging over Trump's head and knighting to his card. And he just wants to go back to mommy. He's like the child that has lost his mind. You put these two cards together, the gloomy thoughts and the child, this is dementia, Alzheimer's, right in here. And these cards are hanging over him. You know who else is hanging over him? Jeff Smith. And that is distracting Trump because it's in the house of theft. This is, and this is also on another level. This is Trump trying to mess with the rules and regulations and steal the election. And that's hanging over him. But to have the coffin come through in the courthouse, the house of court, this is SCOTUS. And this is SCOTUS here. But something that develops over time. And this would tell me that SCOTUS, oh God, they either bring us a painful loss or there's a painful loss for them. Somebody in a high-ranking position is dishonest, and they're coming from this painful loss and trying to make change into their inner chambers. This is one of SCOTUS, I believe. It has to be. Hold it over here. Let's see. SCOTUS card is knighting to complaints, new complaints, going before, well, shoot, this could be with the court official. I have a feeling in the House of Infant, it just has to be something new. Also could just be something small. And this is something where there's an investigation, there's an examination, and it's too small for someone to decide it. And that's hanging over SCOTUS. I can't say that it would take a long time, even though this is the long way card, because this card is landing in the Hope Good Water house, which is, this is where, this house is where we are thinking thinking of the big picture. So, okay, where's the Hope Good Water card? Up here in the House of Good Lady. Well, I can say for sure that the Ketanji Brown Jackson, Sonia Sotomayor, and Elena Kagan, possibly even Amy Coney Barrett would be supporting Kamala. The House of Good Gent has the Sorrow card there. So this is the card. Let's see, and the Sorrow is here. Yeah, that's Trump and his work, and this whole lineup here. I think the Good Gent house in this situation is J.D. Vance. He's not getting in, right? I mean, there's a confirmation there, because I do feel like this is Kamala. I think that this is representation for not only her husband, but also, because it's in the marriage house, it's partnership and marriage, this house. And I do feel like this is Tim Walz and her husband representing both, because that's the way you can read. Let's see, where's the marriage card? Right here. Oh, it's in the court official. Okay. So here's the court official card. Again, something new. Something that's being examined. But what is examined, I think, would come together in a friendly way. There's love here. For sure, the letter card represents our votes, but also the evidence of all the votes when they come in. And it's in the rich girl house. I think the rich girl in this reading would represent all of the young female voters, the ones who are especially, anyone that cares about women as well. Okay, let's see. also in the letter house, yeah, they're calling it good tidings with this mat, but it's, yeah, letter. It's just letter. In the other Kipper deck, it's the one with all the, has the phone, has the letter, any kind of communications. But I have to look at this as being the votes. So, and there's going to be news that comes out. There's going to be proof, evidence that comes out that somebody's been trying to steal votes. Is somebody in the House? This is our House, not the Senate, but the House that's dishonest. The dishonesty house is thievery and enemies and cheaters. The House, cheaters. Okay, can't get any more clear there. The dishonesty card is right here. And in the officer house, I think this is Mike Johnson, because he's the officer of the House, right? He's the Speaker of the House. But then January 3rd, that's the thing is, they get sworn in to their new positions in January 3rd. Well, of course he wants to get sworn in, but look what's right next to that. And possibly this would be him here, because this is the officer card. Again, look how these match. This is Mike Johnson in the House of Theft. Well, on one level, Mike Johnson in the House of Theft. And yes, he's hanging over Trump, and he's trying to, control the circumstances there. But there's this painful loss right next to him. And he's having to recognize the women who have, House of Recognition is also the reputation of all the support of wise women. And he's trying to steal that from all of us. And I read directionally, he is looking at a loss with SCOTUS, because the court is the courthouse. This is my SCOTUS house. Like I said, this is my SCOTUS card. So as things develop over time, I think it's going to take some time, but I think it's going to work out. Because the Hope Good Water house is, like I said, it's about, well, on one level, it could be that there's proof that comes in, some gift about money, some information, somebody flipping, excuse me, about money that has come in from foreign sources, and that is against the law. That is against our Constitution. You can't have foreign money coming into any campaigns. And it may be proven during this time that is exactly what happened. Because why else do we have the money card? And this card is, it's like a gamble. A gamble from foreign, this is foreign here. Yeah. And the hope on another level too, who is this good lady in a foreign land that is trying to steal things and dropping money in? Like, who's that? Or is it just a good lady, like she's not good at all, cult lady Jenny Thomas, who's been connected to foreign resources, maybe not even knowing it? But because a lot of these billionaires, oligarchs are all connected in this transnational money laundering crime syndicate, I do think I'm going to have to do I don't know know if I'd be able to do it today, but I can tell that I am going to have to do the Linamon Grand Tableau as well. So, okay. Anyway, imprisonment and major problems, self-destruction for the thieves when it all works out. This card to me, this house, now here's the card, but this, yeah, and these sure, these jive, okay. The rich young gent card and house to me is usually attorneys. When I look at political readings, attorneys. And there's going to be a lot of legal meetings. A lot of new examinations. And then that's the journey that they're on, and it's going to take quite, I mean, it'll come full circle. To have great fortune, it's really hard to mess this card up, and because it's in the win-lots house, I think this is all of us looking up to Kamala, because remember, this card is in her house. And eventually, it's just going to take that time to get through it, but we're going to be looking up, and she has blue hair. I'm so glad I grabbed this deck. Well, I couldn't use the other one. It was the glare is just not working. So anyhow, yeah. Okay, now the house. The house may flip. The gift card can be a surprise flip. What's his face? Little Mikey Micro Johnson. Sorry, dude, that you have a penis problem or whatever's going on with all these men that aren't real men. Just give it up for the cult leader. This with the house card in the cheater house, and then the flippage card in the house. Yeah, that's not going to go well for him. And if this is Mike Johnson here, because he's, theft knights to him, and sorrow knights to him, money flippage gift knights to him, and then meeting with all kinds of attorneys to try and see what he can get away with, that knights to him, meeting in his own chamber, lots of inner circle meetings, and they're all just sick in the head, and they're the ones that are going to tie SCOTUS up. We have to remember that Mike Johnson is the one that organized the whole Stop the Steal in 2020. Don't ever forget that. He's the one that got 147 Republicans to vote to overturn the election. Now, I've done readings on most of those guys in the past, but it's so you'd have to look in the playlist there for the GOP who voted to overturn to see individually how it's going to land for them. But anyway, for him, he's going to try to tie things up, or maybe these cards are just saying he is going to be tied up afterwards. Okay. I think it's him that's going to be tied up. Well, but then again, he's trying. I mean, these cards, his sword is pointing towards Kamala. And that's just the thing. Okay, let me focus on SCOTUS, because this is definitely our SCOTUS card. This is the judicial process. And Trump has an immature strategy And we're all just going to be thinking about, oh, what new crap, what new fresh hell is coming out of SCOTUS. But there are complaints about SCOTUS. We have zero, except for, those 3 to 4 women, we have zero faith. Remember Sonia Sotomayor saying she goes back to her chambers a lot of times, her private, office, and just cries. And she also said when they took away Roe v. Wade, she said, how are we going to get that stench off the bench? Well, they've got new stench. All of this, I get the feeling that all of this, just to sum it up in a nutshell without breaking it down into, individually and taking all that time, this over here is telling me that there's going to be some evidence that comes out about foreign money. That's what I'm getting there. It's that discovery. So we can just wait and trust that even though it's taking time, now I could be wrong. I could totally be wrong, and everything can go just fine. Kamala puts her hand on the Bible January 20th, and we celebrate her in, and everything goes fine. But what I can say that I'm willing to bet money on, because my guides help me line up the cards. I don't do any of this by myself, and I've learned to trust them immensely. But what I could say is that no matter what, there are going to be investigations through our judicial system, new and more investigations coming through, just raining down, that will bring through the truth eventually. And we could be having for 6 months to at least at least 6 months to up to 2 years, we could be having a lot of information come through that explains the thievery that's been how foreign countries, especially Putin, has been trying to steal our elections, right? And there's somebody heading up that team that we can trust, as well as there's some woman who's been connected on the Trump side in a foreign land. That's a scary thought. You'd think it's mostly men. Maybe I'm not supposed to read this as good lady, and I'm supposed to read it as support, just literally support. With the tarot, sometimes you read them. Usually with the queens and kings, I read them as people, but a lot of times with the pages and the knights, I read this, just the energy. The energy of this card and house is, good lady, is support. And where's my good lady card? She's right here. Recognition is reputation. The house of recognition is it's usually high honors. It's about passing exams. It's about an achievement. It is interesting that it knights together. I may have to revisit this later. If I get more hits, I'll post it in the community section. But because it knights to the dishonesty house, and then the house, this is somebody in the house that's dishonest that we can't trust. But she will be recognized, and we will know who she is. And in her old age, it's not going to go well for her. And she has foreign connections. On another level, of course, this is the dishonesty that has colluded with the House which, in the form of Jenny Thomas, Jenny Thomas, Jenny Thomas here, and over the courthouse here, the court card, SCOTUS, Jenny Thomas right here, been involved for a long, long time, helped to get the money in, all that. So, okay, just opening up the reading, we have to say there's sad news for Kamala too, to have to go through all this recount that I think is going to happen. But this is sad news for Trump. Good for her, all of that. And then all the meetings that are going to get everybody down for some time period, or a period of time, we're going to be like, oh, just pull the covers back over our head and try to come back in January. But, no, we're going to be going through something, and we have to be brave. The corners, the four corners, framing them out tells me that we're waiting. Look, we have the expectation card in the expectation house, which means waiting patiently. When it comes to timing, this card is 2 to 3 weeks to 2 to 3 months. So, but that's still, we've got 11 weeks between so that puts us at about 3 months, 11 weeks between November 6th and January 20th. So we're going to be waiting. Trump is really going to be sad and worried, and of course he's trying to steal. The change that happens, the change from residences in the White House, this has to be Kamala right here, because she's the only one with a good reputation. This is the card of reputation. This is high honors. This is passing an exam. This is success in her career, and this is her reward. For this card to land in the House of Change tells me this is Kamala. And then the other corner over here, this is what we're hoping for, because this really changes. Just think, like, here's the card up here. And I know it's in the good lady house, and she's a good lady too. We could kind of read it that way, but I do feel, because of this angle here, I think this is good for her. But if you just take the visual from this card and also add this card, this could be that she's going to be doing really good work, because the work is also, she's looking towards him, and her work is to get this sorry piece of out, and just so that we're not even thinking about him anymore, which is going to take some time, because all the lawsuits, right? But then again, too, if we look at it from that perspective, remember, she's a prosecutor. And this is my card for SCOTUS, but that's not the only meaning of this card. This is legal matters. This is the judicial process. This is decisions and discovery that comes through. This is getting out of an entanglement sometimes. And bottom line, you can see the scales here, which is one of the things I like about this deck. Restoring balance. She's got the sword of truth and restoring balance. That's what's backing her up. Her only obstacle is him. And again, blue hair. Wouldn't it just be something to see her dye her hair blue, like to do the blue thing for a while? Or at least blue tips or something, or a blue streak. Wouldn't that be cool? Come on, Kamala, do it. But she has all kinds of support coming in from creative women who think in bigger terms, and in the unhoped for money houses, that's actually really good. That knighting to her is really good. I do not like the coffin knighting to her, because especially in the courthouse, this could be, if they do that, if SCOTUS, if Scrotus takes away the election from her and tries to steal it like they did, or actually they did steal it from us with Bush v. Gore, in 2000. If they do that, I mean, God, there's restriction here. There's all this angle here, and then up over here, kind of like a big check mark. This is disturbing to me. This is really disturbing to me. But if they do that, the question is, what are we going to do? Because we've got dishonesty with the painful loss here. Right? Dishonesty. Depression. Gloomy. Just down about the dishonesty. I don't like this at all right here. This one knights to him. This makes perfect sense, right? He's dishonest. He's trying to steal the election. And all the money he's getting from overseas to do all of that. And, Elon Musk is in here too, right? And then the loss here. It's only just this one side. Wow, this isn't good. These two cards knighting together is not good. I don't like seeing this at all. I hope I'm wrong. I hope the cards didn't line up right, and I'm concerned. I'm really concerned. If they were to do something like that, how would we? Because we need to get rid of the Electoral College. And how would we do that if we don't have the Senate and the House? Yeah, I'm not seeing anything more to comment on over here. I don't like this at all. But there's got to be some workaround if something like that happens. I mean, there's a strategy here to end the vote counts. They're going to try to stop, in some states, they're going to try to stop the vote counts. And we're waiting, we're expecting good fortune to come. But what about this marriage? What about this bond? What about this partnership with someone who decides for you what's going to happen? And then all this crap over here with SCOTUS. I bet you they're sitting back thinking, it's like no wonder. Lisa said that once in the live stream, why? No wonder that Clarence Thomas just sits back with his legs open and like so smug, because he's had this all set up for years. Once they got Citizens United in there in 2010, we've been screwed ever since then. We were screwed before that because they were in there. So I imagine this would have to turn into impeachments. SCOTUS members can be impeached. I would bet money that what's his face, Clarence would stand down, would leave, would resign is the word, would resign over Ginny Thomas if they would maybe like let her go or something, or maybe Ginny Thomas would flip somehow and give the information that's needed. I don't know. She's crazy though. She's always been crazy. Which means the person isn't trustworthy. Yeah. So, okay, I guess I'll just get this uploaded for now, and I think I will do the Linamon. I'll do a grand tableau on the Linamon. We'll see what comes through there. There are so many people cards with the Kipper that it's hard sometimes to figure out. But then again, it nails down who's who. But there are layers. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking and just get this uploaded. Okay, hugs, hugs, hugs.